What's up everybody? In this video I'll be teaching and showing you how to play Caulifla. And before we actually get started with the video, I just want to say that this guide is based off of PvP and not PvE. So most of the things that I show you in here may not work all the time, and that's pretty much due to Xeno servers or bad connections or anything like that. And if you've been playing this game for a really long time, then you know exactly what I mean. In any case, let's get started.
I'm gonna explode with all this power!
So to kick things off, we're going to start out with her basic combos. And the first one is her light combo. Now in terms of damage, her light combo isn't really too great. But in terms of uses, it's decent. I mean, she has a bunch of rapid kicks, rapid punches, and also 2 knockbacks. And one thing about those knockbacks is that the first knockback is a hard knockback. And one note about her rapid punches is it keeps going. So the animation doesn't stop and you could keep up the pressure. You could do stamina damage to people who are blocking, and you can definitely chase them down with the animation because it actually does carry you a couple feet, which is really good for people who like to, you know, play timid and, you know, a back step and dash step backwards and all that stuff. So her rapid punches are definitely useful. Those punches can also be a disadvantage for you because once when you're in those animations, you're pretty much stuck, and you know you can't really do anything. You can't key cancel out of it. I mean, you could evasive, but you'll be wasting stamina just to stop yourself from getting key stunned or getting hit from the back. So next up, let's talk about her heavy combo. So this combo is definitely the best out of all of them due to the damage, how quick and simple it is, and just overall the final hit is a really good setup. And speaking of her uppercut, it is the best setup in all of her combos. It'll land all your follow-ups, and it's a hard knockup, so they're gonna be stuck up there for a while. Not only that, but from my own experience of, you know, using the combo, sometimes Caulifla will duck under before throwing that uppercut. Now it may not sound like it's the greatest thing, but one thing to note is Caulifla is definitely a small size character, and her using that animation can save you from people vanishing and then attacking right after. Next up, we got her light heavy alternative combo. Now this combo is pretty quick and simple. All you do is just do a quick knockback after 1 light attack or 2 light attacks or 3 light attacks, but not too much damage, but it has its uses. You can get some distance away from your opponent and you can either charge up your key or charge up your crush cannon. Next, we got her other light heavy alternative combo. Now you can only do this one after your 4th light attack. This combo is alright. It's not really that great due to it having an animation where you're stuck, you know, the rapid punches. Now this combo does lead up to a stamina break, and you'll see that in the stamina break section of this video. And this combo also leads to a hard knockback, and it will leave you open to, you know, set up stuff or throw some things out. So the heavy light heavy combo is pretty good. It does a decent amount of damage, and it does lead to 2 hard knockbacks. The first one is a normal knockback from the first light combo, and the second knockback is from a drop kick. One thing that I want to point out about this combo is the drop kick. Now this is a hard knockback, but for some reason, I don't know if it's just me, you can't really follow up with any of your abilities after this move. Like say Crush Cannon or Bay Blast. Crush Stream you can definitely land because, you know, you shoot out 2 blasts and it does home wherever your opponent is. But Crush Cannon or any of those other abilities, you're gonna miss because your opponent sometimes fly slightly left or right, and the hitbox for these abilities are pretty small. So next up we have her heavy light combo, and this combo skips about half of the light combo, which is pretty good if you're planning on setting up a knockback. So this is where Caulifla shines, her abilities. Her first super is Crush Cannon. Crush Cannon is pretty good. It does decent damage, it fires off very straight and almost immediately. There's also another thing it can do. You can charge this, so you have to hold it until you get 18 pulses out on this thing. And you can either fire it off right after, or you can save it. And the way you can save it, while you're charging it, you press the block button, and Caulifla will save the charge until whenever you fire it off again. So if you haven't fully charged it, you can activate it again, continue to charge it. But if you fully charged it, then the moment you press it, it'll fire off. Now this super is very easily one of the best skills in this game. It does even more damage than most ultimates. And anybody who knows about Crush Cannon or ever even seen it, they know what you have in your hand. Next up we got Double Crush. Now this ability is more utility than actual damage. So the first time you activate this ability, you'll fire it up and it'll stay there. And if you want to fire it off, then you have to press the button again. And once when you do, it'll fire off volleys of these mini key blasts. Now they don't do a big ton of damage, but they do have the same kind of thing where if you would key stun someone. And this ability is very versatile. You can set this up and then leave it off somewhere and start attacking and then fire it off whenever you want to. And you can also use this to engage. That's definitely one of the best uses that I find it to be. You can also use this as like a barrier. You can just throw it up in the air and just leave it there and circle around it and fight around it. So next up we got Raid Blast. Now this ability is really good and it's very viable and it has a lot of uses. The first thing to know about Raid Blast is it creates a barrier, and that barrier can cancel out any key blast like you know, regular key stun that people throw out and kind of weaker key abilities. Then after the animation for the barrier comes out, you'll start shooting out 3 lasers. Now these lasers, they're very useful, not only because it causes a hard knockback the moment they're hit by one, but it shoots out 3 of them. It also follows your target if you miss. So Crush Stream is a really good ultimate for Caulifla to have. It fires off 2 key blasts and then it follows up with the big beam at the end. So one unique thing that this ultimate does have is you can fire it backwards. You can catch people who are vanishing behind you, or you can pretty much read on their movement and kind of bait them out. And if you miss, say, the first key blast, if you connect with the second one, then you'll still follow through with the big key blast at the end. Caulifla's other ultimate is Impulse Slash. It's pretty much a faster variation to Cabba's Impulse Slash. All the animations are pretty much the same besides the little donkey kicks that Cabba does. So Caulifla doesn't do that. Instead, she does an uppercut and launches your opponent in the air and then do a slam down and then, you know, do the regular key blast at the end. So this ultimate is probably the least I would use in a match, just because it's too long, and by the time you even get halfway to the ultimate, your opponent probably already gained all their stamina back and will just evasive and knock you out of it. So next up we got her stamina rate combos. So these are pretty much the ones that I found to work. There is another one, but I'm not showing that one because that one you have to be on the ground and it doesn't necessarily work all the time. She also doesn't have a real heavy stamina break combo. She only has light ones. So not really much to say here. Overall, she's not really that bad of a character to play. She's definitely a good addition to the roster, I'll say that. And she comes with new skills, new ults, and she has her own unique moveset. I mean, there's really nothing more you can ask for. Now, I will say that she does have her own play style. Now, don't get me wrong, you can definitely go in there, do whatever, and still be pretty decent. But if you really want to get good with her, you'll have to utilize knockbacks and setups. And if I had to put Caulifla on a tier list, she would be in the C class. Now let me explain why. Her Super Soul isn't really built towards her playstyle. I mean, it literally forces you to be hyper aggressive in the beginning of the match, and you can't really do that much damage in the beginning. She's more based towards maybe mid-match, when you pretty much have everything built up, or at least half of it. Even with the recent buff in the latest patch, you still can't really do that much damage compared to all the other characters in the game. With all said and done, I do enjoy playing her. She's really not like any other character in the game. She definitely has that Saiyan attitude, and one thing I do want to point out is that the VAs in this game, Japanese and English, they did a really good job of portraying Caulifla and her personality. I mean, she's definitely one of the most toxic characters in this game. If getting beat by her in a match isn't enough, after every single combo, she'll have something to say. Constantly. One thing I will say though is that I did not like how she got her Super Saiyan form. The tingling in the back, that's something that I don't really enjoy. But everything else, her backstory and her personality and the way that she fights, yeah, I do like that. That's just my opinion. I mean, everybody has their own reasons, right? But anyways, that pretty much wraps up the guide. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys have any questions or anything to say, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next one.